Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Air India flight AI-171 Ahmedabad-London Gatwick crashes in Gujarat's Meghaninagar with 242 on board just after takeoff. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes stock of the Air India crash. Home Minister Amit Shah, Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu reached the crash site. Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau dispatches its investigation team to identify the cause of the Air India plane crash at the Ahmedabad airport. Condolences pour in from across the world. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer calls the Ahmedabad crash devastating. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney also expresses grief. An Air India flight AI-171 Ahmedabad to London Gatwick has crashed in Gujarat's Meghaninagar. As per the information received, there were 242 on board. The 787 Dreamliner aircraft took off at 1:38 p.m. local time and crashed just 5 minutes after takeoff in a residential area. Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally spoke to the Minister of Civil Aviation, Ram Mohan Naidu, and took stock of the Air India flight crash incident in Ahmedabad. Prime Minister has directed the Minister to ensure all necessary support is extended immediately and asked to be kept regularly updated on the situation. All relevant agencies are on high alert and coordinated efforts are underway. Meanwhile, Home Minister Amit Shah has also taken stock of the situation. He has spoken to Gujarat Chief Minister on phone and assured all possible central assistance. A green corridor to transport injured passengers for treatment and to hospitals is being established. Home Minister Amit Shah has reached at the crash site in Ahmedabad to take stock of the situation in a special plane. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, MOS Civil Aviation Muralidhar Mohal and Gujarat Home Minister Harsh Sanghvi are also with the Home Minister at the crash site. These are the visuals we are getting for you from Ahmedabad, where the Home Minister is visiting the trauma centre. Relief and rescue operations are continuing, and the centre and the state administration are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that medical assistance is given to the people in need. Earlier, Union Minister of Civil Aviation Ram Mohan Naidu took stock of the situation at the Air India plane crash site. He reviewed the ongoing rescue and relief operations and coordinating with officials from DGCA, Airport Authority of India, Air India, NDRF and the local administration to ensure all necessary support is being provided. An operational control room has been activated at the Ministry of Civil Aviation to coordinate all the details. The contact details are 011 246 10843. I repeat, 011 246 10843, and the mobile number is 9650 391 859. I repeat, 9650 391 859.
I'm totally shaken by the incident that has happened today near Ahmedabad airport. Very tragic and very, very horrific. And even till now, I have to say I'm in a state of shock. When the event happened, I was in Vijayawada. doing the review of that airport and attending one state program. But the moment I got to know this incident happened, I wanted to be here physically at the site, try to find out more about what happened and what needs to be done. And also Honorable PM has called me and also told me to be there at the site and also look into the operations which is going on right now. And right now, if you ask me, I can only think about the passengers, their families, what they might be going through, and especially the civilians also who are there near the crash site. A lot of relief effort has been done already, right from Indian Army, NDRF, state police, medical departments, including aviation concerned departments. Everyone has attended immediately. The fire department, to the best of their abilities, they have been functioning here and doing the rescue operations. And we still have to find out the numbers. I don't want to put any wrong numbers to you, so we still have to go through the numbers.
Following the Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner crash near Ahmedabad, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau has dispatched its investigation team, including the Director General, to Ahmedabad. They are tasked with investigating the cause of the crash. Air India's MD and CEO Campbell Wilson said that additional team from Air India is on its way to Ahmedabad to assist the team on the ground.
Air Flight AI 171, operated with a Boeing 787-8 aircraft, travelling from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick, has been involved in an accident after takeoff. Flight AI 171 was carrying 230 passengers and 12 crew members on board. Of the passengers, 169 are Indian nationals, 53 are British nationals, there are 7 Portuguese nationals, and 1 Canadian national. The injured passengers have been taken by local authorities to the nearest hospitals. We are actively working with the authorities on all emergency response efforts. A special team of caregivers from Air India is on their way to Ahmedabad to provide additional support.
Gujarat's Additional Chief Secretary Dhananjay Dwivedi confirmed that there were 230 passengers on board along with crew members. The crash site includes Ahmedabad Civil Hospital students, hostel, staff quarters and nearby residential areas.
इंडिया 171 फ्लाइट में अहमदाबाद से लंदन जाने के लिए 230 पैसेंजर की बुकिंग थी। उसके सिवाय क्रू मेंबर भी थे। दुर्भाग्यपूर्वक दोपहर के 1:40 बजे के आसपास प्लेन टेक ऑफ होने के साथ ही दुर्घटनाग्रस्त बना। जिस विस्तार में प्लेन क्रैश होकर गिरा है, वहां पे अहमदाबाद सिविल हॉस्पिटल के विद्यार्थियों के हॉस्टल, स्टाफ क्वार्टर और अन्य रेजिडेंशियल विस्तार है। उस विस्तार के लोगों को भी ईजा पहुंची है। 50 से जितने घायल व्यक्तियों को सिविल हॉस्पिटल अहमदाबाद लाया गया है, जिन्हें श्रेष्ठ सारवार दी जा रही है। अभी वो सघन सारवार में परंतु स्टेबल परिस्थिति में है।
He also said that DNA testing arrangements have been made for swift identification of victims. Families, especially the parents and children of those on board, are urged to submit their DNA samples at the designated site.
फ्लाइट के जो पैसेंजर हैं, उनके जो सगे हैं, नजदीक के सगे हैं, उनसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि डीएनए टेस्टिंग की व्यवस्था हम लोगों ने बीजे मेडिकल कॉलेज के कसौटी भवन में की है। आप सबसे अनुरोध है, जिसमें खास तौर पे माता पिता अथवा उनके पुत्र पुत्री नजदीक के सगाओं में होते हैं, आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप डीएनए सैंपल के लिए कसौटी भवन में बनी हुई व्यवस्था पर अपने सैंपल दें, ताकि दुर्घटना के जो विक्टिम है उनका आइडेंटिफिकेशन जल्दी से हो सके। प्लेन के जो मुसाफिर हैं, उनके रिलेटिव और बाकी जो इजा होके घायल होके सिविल हॉस्पिटल आए हैं, उनके सगे संबंधियों को अगर किसी भी तरह की पूछताछ करनी है, ज़्यादा माहिती की जरूरत है, तो उसके लिए सिविल हॉस्पिटल अहमदाबाद ने 2 हेल्पलाइन नंबर शुरू किए हैं। एक नंबर है 63 57 37 38 31 एवं दूसरा नंबर है 63 57 37 38 41 इन 2 नंबर पे आप माहिती के लिए संपर्क कर सकते हैं।
Chairman Tata Sons N. Chandrasekaran has extended support. In a statement, they said, and I quote, "We are deeply anguished by the tragic event involving Air India Flight 171. Tata Group will provide 1 crore rupees to the families of each person who has lost their life in the tragedy. We will also cover the medical expenses of those injured and ensure that they receive all necessary care and support. Additionally, we will provide support in the building up of the BJ Medical Hostel." Following the crash, the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, has activated an operational control room in New Delhi to monitor the situation and coordinate all necessary emergency response measures. Taking to social media platform X, Airport Authority of India said, and I quote, "In light of the recent incident involving Air India Flight AI-171, an operational control room has been activated at Ministry of Civil Aviation to oversee and coordinate all necessary response measures. For assistance or information, kindly contact the Delhi Control Room, and the numbers are 011-246-10843. I repeat, 011-246-10843. The mobile number is 9650-391-859. 9650-391-859. And the Operation Control Room in Ahmedabad, the contact numbers are 9978-405-304. I repeat, 9978-405-304. And the other number is 079-2325-1900. I repeat, 079-2325-1900. We remain fully committed to ensuring a prompt and coordinated response and extend our complete support to all those affected. The state government of Gujarat has set up a control room at the State Emergency Operations Centre in connection with the Ahmedabad plane crash. The concerned can contact the control room on phone numbers 079 232 51900. I repeat, 079 232 51900, and the mobile number is 9978 405 304. I repeat, 9978 405 304. Speaking on the incident, Gujarat police said that the flight crashed shortly after it took off and crashed onto a building which, as per reports, was a doctor's hostel.
एयर इंडिया की जो लंदन जाने वाली फ्लाइट थी वो टेक ऑफ के बाद यहाँ पे क्रैश हो गई है, जिसमें प्रीलिमिनरी हमें पता चला है कि 223 जितने पैसेंजर थे। यहाँ पे जिस बिल्डिंग के ऊपर गिरी है वो डॉक्टर्स का हॉस्टल है। इंसिडेंट बनने के विदिन 2-3 मिनट्स में पुलिस, बाकी सभी बॉडियाँ, सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, कॉर्पोरेशन वगैरह सभी लोग आ गए थे। फायर फाइटर वगैरह स्थल पे हाजिर है। लोगों को बचाने की और रेस्क्यू करने की कार्रवाई जारी है। ऑलमोस्ट 70 से 80% एरिया हमने क्लीन कर लिया, बाकी आने समय में हम लोग क्लियर कर लेंगे। एयर इंडिया की जो लंदन जाने वाली फ्लाइट थी वो टेक ऑफ के बाद यहाँ पे क्रैश हो गई है, जिसमें प्रीलिमिनरी हमें पता चला है 203।
President Draupadi Murmu has expressed deep distress on the tragic plane crash in Ahmedabad. On social media platform X, she said that it is a heart-rending disaster. She has extended her thoughts and prayers with the affected people. She further added that the nation stands with them in this hour of indescribable grief. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief in a post on social media platform X. He said, and I quote him, "The tragedy in Ahmedabad has stunned and saddened us. It is heartbreaking beyond words. In this sad hour, my thoughts are with everyone affected by it. Have been in touch with ministers and authorities who are working to assist those affected." All right, our correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya is joining us with more. Tapas, what is the latest that you can tell us about the relief and rescue operations, and also how the state administration and the centre together in collective efforts are trying to put things together for those affected?
that's the best part about right now, that the state machinery as well as the central machinery are working in unison, making sure that they put forth the best foot forward. They make sure that there's no stone unturned to find, search the rescuers, or rescue those who have been saved from this particular tragedy that took place of Air India Boeing plane. Now we've been told that one survivor have been found. His seat was 11A. That I'm not sure about that particular seat, but one survivor has been rescued. He remained unscathed. He was saved, and but right now we are still trying to assess if there are any more survivors. Right now we are not getting any information apart from that one survivor that the news came. Apart from that, Air India has just came out with the update that they are organizing 2 relief flights, one each from Delhi and from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, for the next of kin of the passengers of the Air India and Air India staff. And the details of the flight were that Delhi to Ahmedabad, it will depart, the time of departure is around 2300 hours on 12th of June. Ahmedabad to Delhi, time of departure 0110 hours on 13th of June. And Mumbai to Ahmedabad, time of departure 2300 hours on 12th June. And again, Ahmedabad to Mumbai, time of departure 0115 hours on 13th of June. So these are the 2 flights from Delhi to Ahmedabad, and Mumbai to Ahmedabad again. Next of kin of passengers and staff of in Delhi and in Mumbai wanting to travel of these flights need to speak to the hotline numbers they have given. The hotline numbers I'm stating right now: 1800 5691 I'm repeating again for our viewers. It is 1800 5691 Additionally, those coming in from the international destination and wanting to travel can also call at their particular hotline, that is +91 8062 779200. I'm repeating again. It's for those people who are coming from international destination. They can talk to, they can call at this particular hotline. It is +91 8062 779200. That's the number that they're given. These 2 numbers are there for the people who want to travel to Ahmedabad, either from Delhi or from Mumbai. So that is one part of it. The other very important part, as you rightly mentioned, that the Tata Group have right now said that they will give 1 crore each to the families of those deceased in this particular fatal air crash. So that is one part of it. The other and important part that one needs to take a look at is we believe that the Boeing is also expected to send a team at the crash site. We are awaiting a confirmation from their side, but we believe that that's another thing that they wanted to check. What was the reason behind this particular tragedy, and what could have gone wrong when the pilot actually sounded Mayday. So they wanted to talk about that. The other part is that obviously a lot of Civil Aviation Minister has already reached there, Home Minister has also reached there, and there now there's a work that is going on, trying to assert the reasoning behind that. I've already mentioned the fact that there's a team that has left from Delhi. There's another breaking news that we are getting is that 6 teams of NDRF are currently on the site. Remember I was telling you that there were 4 teams en route. They have reached. So in total now 6 teams of NDRF are on site and engaged currently in the rescue activity. So that is another point that is there. Also, as I mentioned, the fact that the minister, Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, has already reached the crash site, and he is already in touch with the DGCA officials and other Airport Authority of India officials to ascertain exactly what could have been the reason behind that. Also, been told that there is Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, that is the AAIB. Again, I'm repeating, that's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau has dispatched its investigation team, including the Director General in Ahmedabad. We were told that in a few hours we might get a preliminary report or an initial report of what could have gone wrong during in that particular fated crash. Just to put it, just breaking this, there's this news I just got. There's an earthquake just came in 4.6 in Pakistan. Just wanted to put it across because it just came that. The other part that we have been talking about, and we've been mentioning about the fact that how the institutes and the local people also are coming in and chipping in with the rescue operation. That's another part that is there. Internationally also, we have seen how every single country have shown their solidarity, be it Russia, be it Australia, France, England. Every single country has expressed their solidarity with India and at this crucial time. So that's another very important point there. Obviously, you can't remove the fact that the Indian Army whenever there will be any sort of a mishap or any sort of a requirement of a disaster, Indian Army always put their hands up, and that again they did. Indian Army has extended their help to the civil administration in Ahmedabad. They have already deployed 130 personnel to assist the civil administration in the ongoing humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. They have also said that they are willing to set up a hospital. The military hospital has also been placed on a standby. So that's another in news that is coming in. So as I mentioned, there are different things that's coming in. We still don't know the reason behind this fatal crash. We will get to the bottom of that very soon. That much is for sure. But what has happened. We exactly don't know the number of casualties still. There's no, we are getting some sort of a report, but we don't want to divulge that. We want to wait for the official confirmation before we go through that. So we are expecting an official confirmation from
yes, indeed, Tapas. This is not the time for speculation, but we as responsible media persons have this responsibility to give facts to our viewers. We will continue doing that. Stay with us, Tapas, but let us update our viewers further. India's Minister of External Affairs, during a weekly media briefing, has condoled the tragic incident in Ahmedabad. Spokesperson of the MEA, Randhir Jaiswal, has expressed his deepest condolences to those who lost their loved ones. He added that it is still an evolving situation and the rescue operations are on.
What has happened in Ahmedabad is a very tragic accident. We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. There are, I understand, several foreigners also. Those updates you will receive from the relevant departments, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Air India, and others. We also, it's still an evolving situation. Rescue operations are on, so you'll have to wait a little more time for exact details to be put out.
In the wake of the tragic airplane crash at Ahmedabad, Western Railway has swiftly mobilized its Railway Protection Force and medical teams to extend all possible support in the rescue and relief operations. 6 doctors and 20 staff along with 7 ambulances have been dispatched from Divisional Railway Hospital at Sabarmati. Sabarmati Workshop, Vatva and Ahmedabad are ensuring timely medical assistance. Western Railway's RPF disaster management team and hospital team are working shoulder to shoulder with sister agencies, offering support and compassion during this difficult time. Western Railway's Ahmedabad division remains fully prepared to provide further assistance as needed, standing united in this hour of grief. Additionally, Western Railways will operate extra trains from Ahmedabad based on demand. As of now, 1 train for Mumbai and 1 train for Delhi are being planned from Ahmedabad. Western Railways is extending full support to state government, including readiness to run more special trains and assist with coordinated relief operations. Indian Army teams comprising nearly 130 personnel have been deployed to assist civil administration in the ongoing humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts. This is after the crash of an Air India flight near Ahmedabad. The Indian Army's response includes engineering teams with JCBs for debris clearance, medical teams comprising of doctors and paramedics, quick action teams, firefighting assets with fire extinguishers and water bowsers, and provost staff for site management. The military hospital has also been placed on standby. Airline manufacturer Boeing has extended support and said that the team is in contact with Air India regarding Flight 171. The team, in a statement, said that their thoughts are with the passengers, crew, first responders and all those affected. Our correspondent Tapas is with us to get us the latest updates. Tapas, what do we know of the crash site? Has it been completely cleared? What about the areas adjacent to the crash site? What is the latest you can get us on that?
Right. So currently we've been told that the work currently is going on to clear the site. It's a tricky thing because there are bodies that are there. Remember when the Boeing actually went up, it had a full load of fuel. So and when it crashed with all of that, which actually when the whole plane actually went up in smoke because of that. So the challenge will be to take out bodies in a condition that the DNA testing can be done. There is a hospital there in BJ, if I'm not wrong, where the DNA testing system has been put in place. So they want to do the DNA testing of those bodies which can't be which they can't identify. So that part is there, and it's difficult. It's a tricky situation, as I mentioned. So both NDRF and SDRF both have will have their work cut out, and they will be clearing the scenario in a very such a manner that it doesn't they can take out the bodies at least. So that is one part of it. So we believe that it will take some time before the area gets cleared up. The other important part is that where the crash took place, that particular building, that was also a medical building. So we believe that particular area will also needs to be cleaned out and cleared out. There might be people who still will be under the debris, so they are trying to get that also cleared. Both Home Minister as well as Civil Aviation Minister Mohan Naidu has taken a tour of that area, and they have actually directed the officials as well as agencies to speed up the process. So we believe that it will take some time, but it will be done in one of the most shortest possible manner, where they can actually take out the bodies as well as can identify them in record time. So that's another part. Agencies have gone to those areas where they want to explore the plane, or they want to know exactly what happened to the plane, and also they want to check out the black box. So that is their very important aspect of investigation of how this whole thing happened. So that is another part of it. So all the agencies, every agency has their work cut out. So and all of them are on ground making sure that they do their work to the best possible manner.
All right, Tapas, you stay with us. At this point, we're joined in by a guest who will share more insights and help us understand this tragedy better. We're joined in by Air Vice Marshal O.P. Tiwari. He's former Assistant Chief of Air Staff. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on DD India News Hour. To begin with, this was a grave day for India, and the tragedy today will be etched forever in the history of aviation tragedies. But to begin with, what is your reading of the tragic incident that struck not just the aviation sector, but the country, the world today?
indeed a very sad day for India. We have lost so many people, yet to be confirmed. And this sort of incidents we never expected. Yes, it will happen like this. See, this Dreamliner aircraft is fairly safe and a reliable aircraft. It has got a good reputation. But I cannot say that there have been no incidents, there have been no problem with these aircraft. There have been some problem with the aircraft, and there have been engine problem also. But fortunately for others, it had been on the ground earlier. And now what has happened today is indeed very sad. Aircraft is very safe and nothing like it to happen. Nothing should have happened. Now see, it has taken off with the correct load and everything fine from Ahmedabad. It has got airborne. Then suddenly it has given a mayday call. After that, the pilot has stopped responding. See, first mayday call must have come up after the aircraft must have lost an engine. See, aircraft flies with only thrust and power. If aircraft has lost on one engine, then now only one engine was left. So with one engine, aircraft is capable of flying to any height and land. But however, as per standard operating procedures, pilot will give a call and come back and land at the same airfield for the and till the time it's not clarified and engines are not checked, it will not get airborne. Now what has happened? If one engine has gone, the second engine, the probability of getting both engines fail within a span of maybe 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, it is very low. It's maybe 1 in a million cases. Now what has happened after taking off, gaining a height of about 500 to 600 feet, it has lost second engine also. In that case, such incidents are possible. Now, what is the probability of losing a second engine? Technical failure of both the engines in such a short span of time, it may be 1 in million cases, which had never happened in the past, but it may have happened today. Second cause of engine failure, maybe let's assume that first engine failure was a technical fault. Second engine fault may be because of the bird strike. In that case, a group of birds, swarm of birds, large number of birds getting inside the engine. See, engine blades will not get damaged with one bird. At a certain big birds have get ingested into the engine may stop functioning. So that is the second probability of engine getting failed. And both the engines failed, pilot had no option but to try to force land somewhere. See, looking at the aircraft's attitude and the way it was approaching with the both wings level. That is the ideal situation in case of both engines have lost and aircraft is going for a safe place and trying to force land somewhere and hoping that somebody can survive. But here if you see these cases, aircraft is going in the correct attitude, but it is going on the left hand side. After takeoff, it has taken a left butt clicking. Now if you see the left side, on the left side of the runway where the aircraft has gone, the medical college, huge residential buildings, and entirely a crowded place, whereas the right of the number was slightly safer. The pilot, in his normal circumstances, everything would have turned to the left, turned to the right, not to the left. So considering this aspect and no reply from the pilot on ATC, whenever ATC is asking for things, what is the problem with you, there is no response from the pilots, it brings out another doubt of sabotage. And how and why, if it is there, it's a matter of time, investigation will come out of it. Okay? But sabotage can also not be ruled out of different cases. There have been certain incidents. Okay? There have been certain incidents in past that one Khalsa leader has warned that something will happen to Air India. Secondly, the situation is such where anything can happen. Now, aircraft, if the pilot is in the normal circumstances, both engine failure, he should try to take that aircraft slightly away from the habited areas, so that damage can be less. Now that aircraft has flown in a perfect flying attitude and tried to go into the ground. Now it has got landed up into the medical college campus. See what happened? Aircraft is absolutely normal. Till the time aircraft strikes with some obstruction, wings get damaged, and moment wings get damaged, the entire wing is carrying a huge amount of fuel, because aircraft was going for a 10 hours of flying time from Gandhinagar to Ahmedabad to London. So now what has happened is so much of fuel, moment there is a slight crack, it catches fire and the aircraft has fell like a ball of fire and it fell into the medical ground. with tail. Now, tail portion of the aircraft has stuck into the hostel building. It is a possibility, it is a probability, and you have seen that one survivor. If anybody is sitting into that portion of the aircraft which has hit and it is hanging on the building, so probably in that, if the impact is not much, there would have been more survivors. But fortunately, at least one person has survived, and the
Yes.
TVs are showing that. It means the pilot has maintained and flown into the ground correctly. But why it has happened, how it has happened, it is a matter of concern, matter of investigation. We have to wait report from cockpit voice recorder, which has to be recovered. Moment it recovered, we can come to know what
Yes.
are the discussion between the pilot and co-pilot,
Yes.
and if anybody external element, anybody else is there.
Yes,
Because if the situations has been aircraft has climbed to 600 feet, there is enough time for pilots to respond to ATC calls. And one more thing I like to add, because if the aircraft has climbed to 600 feet, the pilot should have taken the undercarriage up or retracted the undercarriage, because retraction of undercarriage is a very important aspect and nobody can forget about it. Because if the undercarriage down, your takeoff performance, your flying performance reduces. So first thing, moment you obtain about 35 feet, we retract undercarriage so that efficiency improve and you can aircraft can climb to desired height as soon as possible. So he doesn't have time. Why? He has not retracted the aircraft. So keeping all these things in mind, second aspect I like to bring out, the video has been released. And this video doesn't appear to be taken by any novices or any amateur with just by shot. It is very difficult that anybody will take this video waiting for a chance and recording the entire episode as if aircraft is going into ground. In the heat of summers, temperatures are so high, there will be hardly anybody waiting in the balcony and taking the video. It appears it is planned and somebody has taken a proper video with everything clear and shown that how aircraft is flown into the ground. So this also raises a question, an element of doubt. If somebody is detailed to record this entire episode. Secondly, aircraft is being flown into a designated area where it should not have gone in normal circumstances, because they are on the right side of the runway, areas are slightly clear and less occupied, slightly thinly populated area. That could have been done. So this thing, and no response from the pilot to the ATC calls. And even the pilot not have retracted the undercarriage in such a span of time where it is the first action. Moment you get airborne, first action is to retract the undercarriage so that you can fly for some time on single engine itself and aircraft is better performance. And even the one engine has gone. The one engine gone, aircraft is fully capable of flying, maintaining height, climbing to any height, but however pilot would have landed. So these are the certain elements of doubts coming in up, because one thing is very certain, the aircraft has lost control, not lost the control, but it has lost power. There were no thrust. That is a mandatory requirement for an aircraft to fly and remain airborne. And the loss of thrust is not in one engine, but both the engines, which probability of that is 1 in million. It has never happened, but however it happened today.
Yes, sir.
And
I'll interrupt you here.
Never happened in the
But at present, for the benefit of our viewers, this is the CCTV footage which we are showing to our viewers of the ill-fated plane that took off from the airport. And here is the moment of devastation when the plane crashed in Meghani Nagar. This is indeed a rarest of rare tragedies, as you put it for us, sir. And also, one survivor from this catastrophe is another miracle. But then, very aptly and in detail, you've explained to us different aspects of this tragedy. This is the CCTV footage from the airport of the ill-fated plane just after takeoff. And here, in just seconds from now, we will see the plane and the flight here getting devastated in Meghani Nagar in Ahmedabad. Just a few minutes after its takeoff from the airport in Ahmedabad, and as our guest, Air Vice Marshal O.P. Tiwari did tell us that failure of both the engines is indeed one of the rarest of rare occurrences in aviation history. Sir, I would want you to explain to us further that from here on, what or how does investigation proceed? Is it just the black box that that the investigating agencies will look for, or what are the other clues that the investigation agencies will try to pick up from the crash site? What threads have to be picked up for the investigative agencies, to come to the answers that the questions today pose?
What happens is a lot of things have to get into. First thing is to recover is a cockpit voice recorder, which have recorded every conversation between the captain and the co-pilot, and if anybody else is there. There is a flight data recorder. Flight data recorder will record everything, at what moment the thrust has gone, why it has gone, which engine has failed, which engine has not responded, second engine what has gone. Now cockpit voice recorder will also give the ATC call, giving again and again, and why they are not responding. Undercarriage call will come through the cockpit voice recorder, why undercarriage has not been retracted. This way. Now third thing, now what is required now, when the mayday call has been given, at what stage and where was the aircraft, that has to be correlated with the video and the time and everything. That will give us some reason, some satisfaction. So all these things query has to be given. Plus they will also get into all the details and technical. Now the aircrafts are very modern. Chance probability of a technical manual fault is not there at all. So anyway, that investigation committee will get into the detail of the aircraft servicing, aircraft who has cleared the aircraft, everything was normal or not, and that will be correlated with the engine performance which has been recorded in the FDR. Because that before the takeoff run starts, you open power and how the engine is performing well or responding to the throttle or not. So that is very important. This has to be, everything has to be correlated. Conversations, time, what stage mayday is called and why they have not responded, engines, performance, how the engine is behaving, when the engine has failed, and what is the stage, and at the same time, what is the talking between the two crew members, what are being discussed, and voices of other crew members will also has to be evaluated, and it has to be done very detailed. Then you can reach a final conclusion of why and how it has happened, and if at all, how to avoid in future such incidents. Of course, such incidents are very, very rare. It don't get repeated. People really don't have to worry, and the aircraft is fairly safe. But flying engine, such job is such, but accidents will happen, and it happens. If you read the history, read the statistics, there after certain time, certain accidents have happened. But only most difficult things, and we have to really about if there is, we have to fully get convinced if there are no sabotage in this case.
All right, so this is one angle that has to be investigated. So, I think there is disruption in the video. We'll try getting back to you again. Meanwhile, we'll turn focus to Tapas Bhattacharya, who's there with us from the newsroom. Tapas, our guest put forth very important points that have to be taken care of by the investigating agencies, but you are telling us more about the relief and rescue operations. What latest can you add to it? We've told our viewers that Civil Aviation Minister did take stock of the situation and he visited the crash site. Home Minister Amit Shah is also there at the crash site. He also visited the trauma center. What more can you add? Get us the latest from Ahmedabad.
Of Ahmedabad are actually turning the point, becoming more of a rescuers themselves. In fact, they have organized a blood donation camp. There was a point that how much blood is required. So a large number, a lot of people came out there to provide blood. And in fact, some of the agencies which collect those and now saying that they have almost managed to get 500 units of blood because of the locals who came out in huge number to provide blood to them. You mentioned, in fact, the expert Mr. Tiwari actually mentioned the fact that both engines didn't get enough thrust, and that's something that you can see from that particular video. If we can have that video once again, we can see that when the flight took off, it didn't get enough elevation. Why it didn't get enough elevation? Because there wasn't enough thrust in both the engines. Now, Dreamliners, they are known to provide a fantastic thrust to weight ratio in their aircraft. In fact, these are the aircraft which can do a non-stop 12 to 15 hours of flight from one end to another end of the globe. So they should have one of the best engines, and Dreamliners from Boeing are one of those cutting edge technologies which provide they are known to have the best engines in the world. In fact, the engines are actually provided by GE, if I'm not wrong. So a lot will be seen whether there was a failure in the engine to provide that enough thrust. Was there any buoyancy in the air? Was there anything else apart from that? Is there any other angle, as Mr. Tiwari was mentioning? Was there any other angle that is there? So that all these angles need to be probed in detail, in threadbare, to understand what was the reason. This is one of the worst kind of tragedy that has taken place in India, not just in civil aviation but in overall in many ways, and to make sure that these kind of things never again happen, one has to put in forth the required checks and required brakes that is required for an aircraft to start again working. So Boeing, these Dreamliners, they also need to come on board when the investigation will start, and they need to provide the reasoning, the rationality of how this particular tragedy took place.
All right, Tapas, when we talk of the rescue and relief operations, then the relief and rescue operations are continuing. We have been getting continuous updates from our correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya, who has been telling us about what all is happening in the state. When we talk of relief and rescue operations, the coordinated operations efforts by the state administration and the centre, and how every step is being taken to ensure that medical assistance is given to the people affected. Our correspondent has been getting us all the latest with regard to the plane crash in Ahmedabad. We were also joined in by our guest, Air Vice Marshal O.P. Tiwari, former Assistant Chief of Air Staff, and he did explain to us what could have been the issues of the reasons behind the plane crash. But then there was a disruption in the video link there. We'll try getting back to him again, but as of now, Tapas, I would thank you. You've had a long day there. As of now, thank you for joining in with all those updates and the latest on the plane crash. For our viewers, we'll continue getting you updates. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has expressed his deepest condolences at the plane crash. On social media platform X, he said, and I quote him, "Heartbroken to hear the news of a tragic plane crash in Ahmedabad, India. My prayers are with all who lost their loved ones in this horrible incident. We continue to monitor developments and stand with the emergency responders working to help those impacted." The British High Commission in India said that British nationals who require consular assistance or have concerns about friends or family can call on the number 020-7008-5000. I repeat, 020-700-85000. It further said on X, and I quote, "We are aware that a flight from Ahmedabad to London has crashed near Ahmedabad airport. We are working with local authorities to urgently establish the facts and provide support. Our thoughts are with those affected." UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, receiving updates, expressed deep sorrow, his thoughts with the passengers and their families during this harrowing tragedy. Starmer tweeted, and I quote him, "The scenes emerging of a London-bound plane carrying many British nationals crashing in the Indian city of Ahmedabad are devastating. I am being kept updated as the situation develops, and my thoughts are with the passengers and their families at this deeply distressing time." UK Foreign Minister David Lammy said that he is deeply saddened by the Indian plane crash. He added that Britain had activated a crisis team in both New Delhi and in London.
My thoughts, and I'm sure those of the entire House, are with those who've been affected by the tragic plane crash in India this morning. We know that British nationals were on board. And Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that the FCDO is working urgently with local authorities to support British nationals and their families, and has stood up a crisis team in both Delhi and in London.
Britain's King Charles said on Thursday that he was desperately shocked by the Air India plane crash in the western Indian city of Ahmedabad, with passengers including 53 Britons and 1 Canadian. In an official statement, the royal family said that their special prayers and deepest possible sympathy are with the families and friends of all those affected by this appallingly tragic incident across so many nations. They also paid tribute to the heroic efforts of the emergency services and all those providing help and support at this most heartbreaking and traumatic time. President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, also tweeted, and I quote her, "Heartbreaking news from India with a tragic plane crash in Ahmedabad. My deepest condolences to the families and loved ones grieving this terrible loss. We share your pain. Dear Narendra Modi, Europe stands in solidarity with you and the people of India in this moment of sorrow." European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has also expressed grief. She said that her thoughts are with the families of the passengers and crew and with all those affected by this tragedy. Delegation of the European Union to India has lowered its flag to half-mast in the memory and respect of all the citizens of the countries who lost their lives in the tragic Ahmedabad plane crash. In a post, they have extended condolences to the grieving families and to the people of India in this moment of shock and mourning. French President Emmanuel Macron has also expressed grief over the tragedy. Posting on X, he said, and I quote him, "We have learned with deep emotion of the tragic plane crash in Ahmedabad. In this time of sorrow, I extend our heartfelt thoughts to the victims' loved ones and to Prime Minister Narendra Modi." Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney also extended condolences. In a post on X, he said, and I quote him, "Devastated to learn the crash of a London-bound Air India plane in Ahmedabad carrying 242 passengers, including 1 Canadian. My thoughts are with the loved ones of everyone on board. Canada's transportation officials are in close contact with counterparts, and I'm receiving regular updates as the response to this tragedy unfolds." Sri Lankan President extended condolences to the families of all those affected on board. In a post on X, he said, and I quote, "Equally heartbreaking are the civilian casualties on the ground, including young medical students whose lives and futures were struck by this tragedy. At this moment of deep sorrow, the people of Sri Lanka stand in solidarity with India. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone impacted." Maldives President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu also extended condolences to the families of all those affected on board. In a social media post on X, Muizzu said, and I quote him, "I express profound sadness at the tragic crash of Air India flight AI-171 near Ahmedabad. At this difficult time, the government and people of Maldives stand in solidarity with people of India and also the government of India." So that sums up the updates with regard to the relief and rescue operations after the tragic and horrific plane crash in Ahmedabad. News and updates continue on the other side. We will continue getting you the latest on this. But as of now, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.